Hello, my name's Charlotte Hobbs and this is my spoken word piece called Settling. It wasn't exactly love at first sight, as you all probably know. It wasn't love at all. It was a show. And here's you thinking a marriage of convenience didn't happen anymore. That was surely what online dating was for. But after swiping through Tinder and seeing cockshots aplenty, I decided that was something you did when you were 20. So I searched and discovered that the attractive men were all under ball and chain. And enduring date after date, I slowly watched my dignity pour down the drain. There was the clingy guy, the bird watcher, and the one I caught smelling my tights. The awkward lunches, the string of sloppy kisses, and the ones who were all right for the night. But then I was set up on a blind date with a guy I would absolutely adore. A guy named Dan, a successful businessman. A fucking bore. But he wasn't weird for once. Owned his own house and he had just turned 30. Isn't that the age men are supposed to get really dirty? No. 30 is when they start to grow hair in really weird places and their swelling beer bellies fit into less and less spaces. But it was fine because Dan actually paid to take me out to dinner, and after a few large glasses, he even started to look a bit slimmer. Like a haggard Daniel Craig, minus the ability to make my heart start convulsing. But in the starlight of morning, breath and all, he's back to being repulsive. He shuffles in to shower me with flowers, coffee and a light kiss on my forehead, leaving only to whip up pastries and juice for breakfast in bed. Dan was the perfect gentleman, anyone could see. Except me. I wanted fireworks and sparks, not 5 minutes of misery in the dark. But all my friends are getting engaged, and I really shouldn't still be living with my parents at my age. So when he got down on one knee, at a 3-star restaurant, how classy. The room grew blurry as I tried to blink back my tears, as I squeaked out a yes to many more years. When I phoned my mum to tell her our exciting news, I cried. "Oh, you know, I'm just overwhelmed with happiness," I lied. I was terrified of telling anyone how I really felt, that a future with Dan didn't exactly make my heart melt. That weekends at IKEA and planning to have a family one day made me want to vomit and scream and run away. But this is what I needed, didn't I? A husband, commitment, stability. Talking about fertility. Sex with one man forever, getting fat and ugly together. To distract myself, I focused on planning the wedding and tried to feel excited about the day I was dreading. This is what I had dreamed of since I was a little girl. A princess dress, horse and carriage, and cupcakes with buttercream swirls. Dan's family couldn't be nicer. They paid for it all. And with Dan being so busy with work, his brother offered to help. I just had to call. And call I did. His name, over and over again. Only stopping when my fiancé walked in, expecting to feel guilty or ashamed, but instead feeling excited for the fight to begin. Finally, it was time to see anger or passion or even just to see him shout, but nice guy Dan couldn't even do that. He could barely whisper at us to get out. I moved to my parents thinking that was it, until he turned up to apologise for his mistakes. As I watched this grown man grovel at my feet, I felt my disgust turn to hate. I suddenly realised this was my chance to get out, to escape my fate. But to be honest, I couldn't stand the thought of one more lousy date. It may not have been love at first sight, but it was better than being alone, right? So please raise your glass, say a prayer and give a cheer for Mr. and Mrs. Drummond, the couple of the year.